House, and I'm here to present the 4 pieces that are being presented by Brenna Ballet Institute. I'll be telling you more about the wonderful work being done throughout the community by the Institute after the initial piece. Joining our professional ballerina, Brenna Sumner, that lives locally and runs the Institute, is a professional dancer who traveled in just for this occasion. Daniel Benavides grew up dancing traditional Mexican folk ballet, folklorico, and began his ballet training through the Step Up program at Anaheim Ballet. He joined the San Francisco Ballet School in 2002, and after 2 years training and performing with San Francisco Ballet, moved on to Boston Ballet too, and then on to Susan Farrell Ballet, traveling across the world. He eventually joined the Orlando Ballet and has danced there for 15 years. Presented first is the Adagio from the first act of La Fille Mal Gardée, or The Wayward Daughter. This ballet was originally performed in France in 1789 and has been lovingly recrafted for centuries by the most elite masters of the classical arts. A comedy, the ballet centers around Lise, who is in love with Colas, but alas, her mother wants her to marry a dim-witted rich man. True to the nature of romance comedies since entertainment began, chaos and hilarity can ensue when you stand in the way of true love. I feel like that makes, Garden the Park like a whole nother level of bringing us together as a community, getting to enjoy the classic arts. As our dancers are changing costumes, I'd like to tell you a little more about the Brenna Ballet Institute. At Brenna Ballet Institute, it is believed that everyone can dance and deserves the opportunity to express themselves no matter your age, size, race, gender, or beliefs. Everyone is welcome in the world of dance, whether you want to become a professional or dance recreationally. They hope to bring the beautiful art of ballet to everyone in our community. Brenna Ballet Institute offers lessons in classical ballet to the Auburn, Opelika, and surrounding areas. Classes are based on the Russian method of teaching and follow the Vaganova syllabus. Some of you guys must know what that is. I sure don't. The pre-professional division offers classes to beginner and experienced dancers ages 13 through adult who are interested in learning or improving their ballet technique. The Institute also offers children's division classes for ages 5 to 12. Classes are small, as individual attention to each student is imperative to the growth and development of great technique. Brenna Ballet Institute is able to mentor students who desire to learn and achieve greatness. The classes are held at Celtic Traditions at 2705 Frederick Road in Opelika. Along with all the dancing, Brenna Ballet Institute also trains and mentors teachers and choreographers. Our second performance today is going to be from first-time choreographer Emily McLain Mitchell.
Hi guys. So obviously this piece is special to me because it's my first piece I've ever choreographed, which is something that I've wanted to do for years, but just never had the opportunity or, quite frankly, the confidence, honestly. But this group of girls is amazing. As a woman, all of you women can probably relate to this, it's kind of hard to make friends with women. There's a lot of competitiveness and envy, and even as an adult, in a class where, you're not trying to be professional, but you're just trying to build a bond. You're doing something that you both love, all of you love together, and just building that amazing connection with other women is really an unexpected and inadvertent benefit to this program, for me at least. And that's really kind of one of the main themes for this piece that I choreographed. It's set to Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune, which is a direct translation of Moonlight in English. And it was based off of a poem in 1869. And really the piece, it's a very delicate piece. We've all probably heard it, you might just not know the name of it. But it's really about deep introspection and just your journey through life of kind of discovering yourself and how you relate to other people. And so kind of a brief synopsis of this piece is two dancers. It could be anywhere in the world, any age, any race, country, it doesn't really matter. These are two female classical dancers who they start with just their love of ballet, and they're drawn together for human connection, and then envy or what have you kind of forces them to move apart from each other physically, like, and literally. And then they realize that they're kind of missing something, and they want that connection with one another, and they come back to each other, and at the end they embrace each other in what is a very intimate and sweet, loving embrace. So again, I want to say thank you for Brenna to trust me with this and give me this opportunity. And Brenna and Lauren are actually going to be my dancers, and I'm super excited to share this with you guys. So let's take it.
As you can see from each time that they come out, there's pretty elaborate costume changes that are happening back there, and it actually takes more than one dancer to just change your own clothes. They're back there tying each other in and doing all sorts of stuff. As you have seen, Brenna Sumner, who has been the lead ballerina up here for the songs that you've seen so far, she is an extraordinary human being. I first met her because of running the Heritage House. She contacted me about perhaps doing a performance on the veranda there, and now they've come and done a couple of performances for us, and it's just an incredible addition to first of all, just having something like that on like at a historic building here is beautiful, but also it just adds to all of us as a community to have dancers who are willing to put together these pieces just for the joy of doing it for an audience. You know, it is a lot of time, work, and discipline that goes into these dances. Brenna began dancing at the age of 3, receiving her very early training from the Auburn Ballet School. She furthered her dance experience by dancing with the former Lynn Terra Ballet, Montgomery Youth Ballet, and the Alabama Youth Ballet Company. She spent 5 years studying the Russian method of ballet under the direction of Stephen Griebel, a student of Alexander Pushkin. She has appeared as a guest artist for Contemporary South Dance Company, Ballet Intermezzo, and Christian contemporary artist Seth Harden. She has donated her talents to benefit charitable organizations throughout Central and East Alabama. Brenna is the founder of Brenna Ballet Institute, which began as a community service project designed to bring ballet to children and families in need. Brenna spent 2 years as a company member with Montgomery Ballet's professional company, where she danced many classical and contemporary works as a soloist and understudying for principal roles. Brenna has 10 years of experience teaching classical ballet, contemporary, modern, and other dance forms, which is amazing considering how young she is. So the next piece that we're about to be looking at is actually improvisation. Within dance, improvisation is used for a multitude of reasons, ranging from the creation of choreography to simply releasing energy and emotion while spontaneously moving. The art of improvisation allows the mind to think, but not overanalyze the motions the body is producing. It can be hard to teach dancers about things like musicality, as the skill is multifaceted and complicated to explain. However, when words fail, sometimes a little improv can help demonstrate what musicality quality is all about. Today, Brenna Sumner will be dancing solo to music by Brandon Lake, a Christian workshop singer and songwriter.
I've nothing else fit for a king except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thank you. I wanted to explain a little bit about why I chose to dance to that particular song. As Danny said before, we believe that you should be able to use movement and dance to express your innermost feelings, whatever you're feeling, and give it to the world. The reason I chose that song is because of my own personal religious beliefs. A few years ago, in the midst of dancing professionally, I developed a pain in my back, and it was so severe that every day was absolutely agonizing, and I was losing my ability to dance. And finally, one day, it upset me so much that I was angry with God. He had given me this incredible gift of dance, and now it seemed that he was taking it away from me, the one thing that gave me the most joy in the world. Then one day I heard someone say, our gifts are given by God, and what we do with them is our gifts back to God. And I had realized that I was using my gift for myself. I was wanting fame for myself through my dancing, and not giving praise back to God for this talent that he had given me. And finally, I fell on my knees, on my face, and prayed, God, please, I'll do whatever you want if you will let me dance again and take away this pain from me. And I had to believe that God is as real as my hand in front of my face, and his power that he can manifest is exactly as real as that. And when I stood up from the ground, my pain was gone. It was completely gone, and it's never come back. So if you don't know the Lord today, I'm just here to tell you, he can change you. He can fulfill you. You don't have to be alone in this world. You don't have to be confused in this world. Come to know our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If you would like to talk to us about it, you can find us at our booth. We will answer any questions that you have about that. But I'm going to hand the mic back to Danny, and she will introduce our next piece. Thank you.
I feel like we should just let that sit for a minute. That's like amazing transition in her life. So this next piece that is coming up is called The Carnival of the Animals. And so that piece, obviously, the previous piece was something that was very serious and, had a very, a lot of drama and kind of displayed a lot of technique that you get with someone who's been dancing for decades of their life. This particular Carnival of the Animals the music was written by Camille Saint-Saëns, and the choreography you're going to see today is by Brenna Sumner. So the Le Carnival des Animaux is actually a humorous musical suite of 14 movements by the French composer. The work is about a total of 25 minutes, but obviously we're not doing the entire work today. But it was written for private performance only, for 2 pianos and then a small chamber ensemble. And so Camille Saint-Saëns had a little bit of a mental breakdown-ish, maybe not that bad, but he took a little time off from being a serious composer and kind of went to the country and was like, I really need to shake off some bad reviews. He had a musical piece that came out and everyone hated it, and he was just like, ugh. So he went out into the country, and as part of taking some time off, he decided he was gonna write some of what he called silly music. And so what came out of this kind of retreat into the country is this musical piece. So during his lifetime, he actually would not allow for this music to be played in public at all. It was only for private performance, and only if he was there to make sure that it wasn't like reflecting his like more serious works, because he felt that the frivolity would damage his standing as an actual serious composer. So this was actually wasn't published until 1922, which is the year that he died. And in that same year, they immediately started performing it in public. This is how much everybody loved it behind the scene. They waited for him to pass, and then they were like, and now it's for everyone. In the early aughts, they started doing this as a ballet, and now Brenna has taken the opportunity to display it for you today here at Garden in the Park. Just kidding, I'm gonna talk to you some more. I thought their keep going sign was wrap it up, and I was like, fine, I don't wanna talk about Saison anyway. So yeah, in 2002, the New York State Ballet, they actually did the first choreographed performance of the ballet, and actually there were poems that accompanied it that were read by John Lithgow. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with his work. I think Third Rock from the Sun, if you're in your 40s, anyone know that show? But essentially this is one of the most colorful works that I've seen them do. Each ballerina and danseur will be a different animal. So as they come out, the music, and why Saison was so like, you know, this is just for silliness, is because each part of the music represents a different animal, and that animal's movements then are now improv into what was originally created as piano and chamber production. So that's all I can say about that. Maybe you guys can enjoy a few moments in the cloudy, refreshing moment, and then we'll be back with some dancers.
When people addressed him as Sains, he held the human race to blame because it could not pronounce his name. So he turned with metronome and fife to glorify other forms of life. Be quiet, please, for here begins his salute to feathers, furs, and fins. The lion is the king of beasts and husband of the lioness. Gazelles and things on which he feasts address him as your highness. There are those who admire that roar of his in the African jungles and velds. But I think wherever a lion is, I'd rather be somewhere else. The rooster is a roistering hoodlum. His battle cry is cock-a-doodlum. Hands in pockets, cap over eye, he whistles at pullets passing by. Some fish are minnows, some are whales. People like dimples, fish like scales. Some fish are slim and some are round. They don't get cold, they don't get drowned. But every fishwife fears for her fish. What we call mermaids, and they call marefish. Come crown my... brow with leaves of myrtle. I know the tortoise is a turtle. Come carve my name in stone immortal. I know the tortoise is a turtle. I know to my profound despair, I bet on one to beat a hare. I also know I'm now a pauper because of its turtly torpor. midnight in the museum hall, the fossils gathered for a ball. There were no drums or saxophones, but just the clatter of their bones. A rolling, rattling, carefree circus of mammoth polkas and mazurkas. Pterodactyls and brontosauruses sang ghostly prehistoric choruses. Amid the mastodonic wassail, I caught the eye of one small fossil. "Cheer up, sad world," he said and winked. "It's kind of fun to be extinct." The swan can swim while sitting down. For pure conceit, he takes the crown. He looks in the mirror over and over and claims to have never heard of Pavlova. Now we reach the grand finale. Animale, Carnivale. Noises new to sea and land issue from the skillful band. All the strings contort their features, imitating crawly creatures. All the brasses look like mumps from blowing oompa, oompa, umps. In outdoing Barnum and Bailey and Ringling, Sansons has done a miraculous fingling.
All right, for our final piece of music, we would actually like all of you to dance with us. Because again, we believe that everyone should and can dance, okay? So if you would all stand up, if you are able to, and just follow along with us with some very simple movements. Would you play our waltz, please? If any of my dancers would like to join us, you may. Sway side to side. Don't be shy. The people driving by aren't looking at us, it's fine. You're all beautiful. area on Frederick Road at the Celtic Traditions Dance Studio. We have classes from ages 5 to adults in classical ballet and in international folk dances. So please check us out at our booth. We are at booth number 25. Thank you all for coming today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.